What's up, everyone? I assume that if you're watching this video, you are interested in playing fantasy disc golf. This will actually be my first season too, but I do have a lot of experience playing fantasy sports. Fantasy disc golf is a very new fantasy sport, and currently there's only one platform that I know of where you can play, and that's Skipace, so that is what we will be using. The first thing that you're going to want to look at is the league rules. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see event lineup, and that's going to tell you which events actually count for our league. I currently have mine set on a full season, which means it includes all of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series events, plus 5 Silver Series events, and a major. We'll get more into the specifics on that later. Below event lineup, you can see MPO starters. MPO, if you didn't know, stands for Mixed Professional Open, and it is the least protected division, so anybody can enter that one. And it's typically where you see the highest level of play. Next up is FPO, that's Female Professional Open. It is obviously gender protected, and you'll get 2 starters for that. You'll also be allowed 2 MPO bench spots, 1 FPO bench spot, and an IR spot in case you have a player who's injured. Alternates, yes, refers to the 6th rule. If a starting player doesn't finish a tournament, we'll sub in the lowest finishing bench player on your team. Waiver priority none. This is a big one. That means if you drop a player, they'll immediately be available to be picked up by somebody else, aka there is no waiver period. And then the scoring method is player place. So if you look at rule number 4 right here, points are allotted based on where your players finish. 1 point for first place, 2 points for second place, and so on. Theoretically, you could have one MPO player win your tournament, and then your other 3 starters tie for second. That would be a total of 7, which would be an extremely good score. And then if your FPO starters also took first and second at that event, you would have a total of 10 points for the week. I think it would be impossible to not be undefeated in that scenario. So the other thing you're going to want to look at is the schedule. You need to know what events are being played. As I stated earlier, it is all 11 DGPT Elite Series events. That's what ES means right over here. And then you see A tiers down below. So the Texas State Disc Golf Championships is an A tier. That is considered a silver event. Basically, all of the A tiers are all silver, and it says that right here next to DGPT. And then we have one major, that's the Champions Cup. Unfortunately, World, European Open, and USDGC do not count in this format, even though they are also majors. Once you know which tournaments are being played, now it's time to look and see if your players are playing in those tournaments. So say you have Ricky Wysocki on your team. You can click this link right here. It will take you to his PDGA page, and then you can see which tournaments he played in last year. So it looks like he did play in Las Vegas Challenge last year, and he got 7th place. And then if you look at his upcoming events right here, you can see that he is indeed signed up for the Las Vegas Challenge this year. So he will accrue points in that first tournament, but you need to make sure you do that for all 6 of your players that you're starting, because you would not want to start a player who has not signed up for the tournament that is being counted. The other thing that would probably behoove you once you know what tournaments are being played is to research the tournaments. What kinds of shots are required at these tournaments? For example, Las Vegas Challenge is an open bomber course with a lot of OB. So you want to utilize players who throw very, very far, stay in bounds, and make their putts. Whereas the following week at the next Elite Series events is Waco, which is a much more technical wooded course that suits other players' games very, very well. Once you know what type of course is being played, then it's up to you to research the players to know what their strengths are. Now, I'm not going to tell you that right now because that would take way too long, but a quick thing you can look at to determine how well a player has been doing is to look at their player rating. So obviously, Paul McBeth at the top 1050. He's the only player that's 1050, except for this guy, Manabu Kajiyama. He actually is not on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and his rating is likely inflated due to playing all of his events in Japan. So it's just something to consider. Manabu Kajiyama will likely not play in any of these events that are being counted in our league. And if you're looking to dive deeper into player stats to find what makes players good, I recommend checking out statmando.com as well as UDisc. Between those two sites, you can pretty much figure out anything you want to know about a disc golfer. All right, well, that's going to do it for me. I hope y'all find this video helpful. So research those tournaments and the players, and I'll see y'all next Friday for the draft party. Peace!